the alternative energy movement, it is important that our organizations start talking about alternative energy at every conference. And there's a significant amount of conferences that go on about affairs in Black America. When Tavis Smiley has his next conference, he needs to talk about alternative energy. When Tom Joyner holds his next event, he needs to talk about alternative energy. All of us need to be talking about alternative energy. I'm not pointing anybody out or picking on anybody. I'm just summoning people who all, have huge respect for Tavis. And Tom Joyner has obviously been a well-respected radio personality in our community, and for good reason. He's done a whole lot of progressive things over the years. And as well as a lot of other people that have done a lot of useful organizing in our community. I'm very grateful for them. And it is time for our people to really take heed to the importance of the issue of alternative energy. It's a really, 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 really important issue. It's important for economic reasons. It's important for environmental reasons. And it is important for taking claim for our independence as people, our ability to produce power. One particular instance I talked about was the major power outage in Chicago, Illinois that happened back in 1998, where we had temperatures reach a record high. Chicago is what the EPA calls an urban heat island. And by this day producing so much unbearable heat, the natural response by the residents was to turn the air conditioner up. And the record amount of people using air conditioners consumed so much electricity that it caused the grid to shut down. And the grid shutting down, of course, caused the dominoes to fall. A lot of our people started having heat strokes, particularly elderly and children, because the elderly and children, their bodies in the case of children's bodies are still developing, and in the case of the elderly, their bodies aren't able to reproduce heat as efficiently as it was during their years where they were younger adults. So these are all really, really, really important issues to take into consideration as we move forward. And I do believe Brother Dawood is here. Let me see if I can get him connected in.
Yes, indeed.
Nice to have you on the show, Brother Dawood Muhammad. Welcome to the Iron Walker Factor.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's a great honor. I would like to say that this program that you have is so serious. It is a time now that we must take this hour and this moment. The information that that the people are about to hear now is information they're normally not going to hear any other place but on your show. And I just want you to know that it's such a great honor to be a participant in any capacity I can serve, to be able to educate our people to make their home, their place of abode, their religion, the church, the mosque, their businesses, sanctuary, in a time when we may be looking at some very serious problems that's coming from the climate changes upon us all.
Well, it's a pleasure having you with your experience in this issue, as I did tell my viewers, you're quite a trailblazer in this field, and you've been doing this for years. Exactly how many years of experience do you have in this issue?
Brother, we've been really going back maybe 20 years when we were looking into it from a university level. With many professors at the time were doing research to look at the feasibility study in regards to the applications of the technology to introduce it into the market. And what happened is Allah put it on my heart 7 years ago to move forward, beginning as we begin to see pricing on utilities begin to rise. Then from there, as it came to me to look at also where we were at in leadership. And when we talk about leadership development, I began to look at what could I do to be able to provide some type of leadership on a subject that was not spoken about within the black community, which was the energy crisis. And this started some 7 years ago. And since then, we formulated the, as you may know, we are broadcasting as well through your radio station, but as we have been doing it through Talk Black Live Radio, and also with Brother Jamal out of Interlight Radio and other radio station feeds that pick up the message through Interlight Radio. And we have I've been warning our people that it is time now that is to look seriously at this subject about energy. And when and what time will it ever come a point that we begin to make this topic become of a priority, whether it's a spiritual message, whether it's a business, economic, or social message, that we need to look at energy being a very serious issue, since this is what's really impacting not only just around the world, globally, but particularly within the United States, but it's having more of a devastating effect upon the black community.
Definitely. So exactly. So let's suppose here. Let's get down to the nuts and bolts. We got John Q. Brother, inside the community, just came out of school, and he has a degree in electrical engineering, and he wants to become a part of the solar energy movement. How does he get involved?
Well, I think that that's the first place to start. You can have electrical engineering background. My background is electronic engineering. I also have a construction skill trade. Well, not trade, but actually had a construction company for over 35 years. Okay. And so, with me formulating my construction company, I had all the time had engineering behind me. So then what happened was it began to marriage together a university-level type of training in regards to the applications of the solar energy technology with the skill levels, when you're talking about trade skill level, blue-collar level thinking in regards to building construction, because you have to look at it really became a easy thing to do, really, to measure the two, to merge the two together, finally, because really, when you look at the buildings, you have to look at the structure of the buildings and the locations, and you have to look at the rooftops, and you have to have some knowledge there as well, because you have to decide whether you're going to put the solar panels on a shingled roof, or you're going to put the solar panels on a flat roof. And if not, then there are other ways to do it. We have what you call a pole mount, where it's the pole may be in a dimension of it could be based upon how many panels. It could vary from 2-inch wide to 6 to 9-inch wide poles that is dug into a ground with concrete as a footing, so it could stabilize it, so that you can so it could be strong enough to be able to withstand the wind up to 120 miles an hour wind. So that's either on the roof, or whether it's on the ground, or that it's on the pole. Those are the things that we designed it so that it could withstand up to anywhere from 90 to 120 mile an hour windstorms.
Okay. So basically hurricane force wind type of winds.
Yes, that's correct. And so then